Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. I'm doing decently. It is Friday, so it is the start of my weekend. I've had this topic on my mind for a little bit. A couple of days ago, I read a Reddit post about a male virgin who says he's happy, and so it started this whole topic in my mind: virgins and celibates, and you know, incels, all that. So I wanted to, I don't know, just bring my thoughts to the channel. I'm gonna try to not go off on tangents because there's so many ways you can go with this topic, and I don't want to make the video too long. But I do want to share at least some of my thoughts on it. I am going to start off by reading the Reddit post that got me on this topic, and then giving my thoughts on it. There's actually two Reddit posts. The first one is about male virgin, and then the other one is a shorter one that's just um, a female celibate. So we'll start off with the male version one. All right. So like I said before, this is coming from Reddit, and the forum is ourself, and the post is by Mountain Dew. It's titled, "At 26 male years old, I am still a virgin and haven't had any romantic relationships so far, yet I am happy." I am really damn happy with my life. I've seen a lot of posts where people are feeling bad because they're single or virgin at whatever age, and I just wanted to share kind of a different viewpoint, I guess. Do I long for love, sex, companionship, cuddles, intimacy? Yes, of course I do. But apart from a lack of love life, my life is just going amazingly. I have a good job that I am happy with, at least for the moment. I can pursue my hobbies, and I have got good friends. Recently, I moved out of my parents' house, and there has been a shift in my mindset, leading to me valuing fitness and a mostly healthy lifestyle a lot more than ever before. I still need to improve my eating habits, but I am working on that. Aren't we all? So yeah, I may be single, I have not experienced romance so far, I haven't had sex yet, but I am still pretty damn happy. I just wanted to share this. Edit, just to make it clear, I don't mean to give a grief or judge the other people. I fully understand why they are struggling, and I know I am very lucky with how the rest of my life is going. So that's his post. And I find this really I liked reading this post because usually when you hear about virgins, especially at that late of age, I've heard it later, but usually you hear about them from other people's points of view, which they're usually like, what are you waiting for? Just hurry up and do it. Why are you waiting so long? Don't put it on a pedestal and things like that. Or they'll consider them very nerdy or weird for waiting so long. But I also like the fact that his thoughts are not super negative about it. He's not worried about it so much. It's not like the center of his life. He's just living his own life. He would like a partner, but until that happens, he's going to continue living his own life and improving himself, which I feel like everyone should do. And like that's something I've been working on myself. Like I've gotten mine's a little bit different though, and I'll touch on that later on in this video. But that's super important. But I also feel like I've seen it more, or maybe just because social media is around now these days, that you see more people talking about their virginity and waiting and holding out, or their celibacy. And I would say back in the day when I was younger, I probably would have been like, oh, that's weird. Why are you still a virgin? Like, you should have been had sex with somebody or blah, 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 blah. But nowadays, I definitely understand because besides the fact that maybe there's a religious reason why, there's also like you hear and you get to read or see more of people going through their own dating life, their horror stories, the STIs, and you probably, if you're really observant and thinking about it, you're probably like, yeah, what am I rushing into? Like, if you're looking, especially the dating pool these days, that at least what I'm running into and what I've seen a lot of other people running into, you're not missing out on that much. So I don't think there's anything as far as rushing into it. So I like the fact that his mind is positively focusing on the good things happening in his life instead of getting worked up over the fact that he's not finding a partner, which makes me feel like he would not be considered an incel. Which, if you haven't heard that term before, I'll be surprised if you haven't. But if you haven't, incel is just an abbreviation of two words together. It just means involuntary celibate. And my definition on that is, usually from what I've seen so far, is usually like a straight male that pretty much shows a lot of hate and anger towards women because they cannot find a sexual partner. They'll even have hate towards like attractive men that get a lot of women, because they can't find a sexual partner. For some reason, they think that they deserve to have a partner, for whatever reason, and they're angry about the fact that they just cannot get a partner, and they're just focusing so much on that they're not looking at the rest of their life and like just enjoying life in general. So I don't think so. Based on my definition of it, I don't think he'll be considered an incel, even though he hasn't found a partner yet. Even he might be looking, but let me see if there is an actual definition for incels. I just think it's an abbreviation, but like, let me see. Oh, it actually is a word. Like, usually I just think things are just abbreviations and not actually, I didn't think it was actually in the dictionary. Alright, so according to Oxford Languages, an incel is a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and men who are sexually active. Yeah, so I wouldn't consider him an incel based off my own definition and based off of the definition that's like officially in a dictionary apparently. I wouldn't consider him an incel. He just seems like just celibate. He's a virgin waiting for his special person, and that's good to see. On the other hand, though, for people who are virgins, I have seen the other side of this like conversation. And I've spoken to the older generation, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, where they were married to the same person that they gave their virginity to for 20, 30, 40 years. And when they either divorced or became widowed or something, and they got another partner or became part of the dating scene, they realized they were missing so much when it came to sex. Because the partner they were with, like, that's the only one they knew. And some of them have said that they kind of looked back and was like, I kind of wish that I had a little bit more experiences before just sticking to that one person as the only person I knew. Yeah, so they kind of wish that they didn't jump straight into a marriage with the very first person that they gave their virginity to, and had maybe a few more experiences to find out what they did and didn't like, and that there were other experiences to sex other than that the one person they dealt with. So, and they'll even tell their kids like, don't rush, there's other people out there, just get other experiences. All right, so rudely interrupted again. Yeah, but I think I got out what I wanted to say as far as the two sides of staying a virgin for so long. The sides of like, there's no need to rush, or just live your life, which there are so many horror stories to giving your body to the wrong people. So there's no need to rush or like jump to giving it to multiple people and having multiple partners. But then there's the other side that says like, I only ever dealt with one partner for decades, and then when I was able to actually experience another partner for whatever reason, realized I was missing out on a lot. So yeah, I'm sure there's other stances to that, but that's as far as the virginity thing goes. But other than that, I like that, he's not worried about it so much. It's not making him angry. He's not so centered on relationships and sex that he's just like focusing on only that. He's like, I'm just going to continue to live my life, and whenever I find my partner, I find my partner. Yeah. So let's move on to Celibates. There is another post on that, and this is a lot shorter. I feel like it's almost my life. Alright, so this one comes from Reddit again. Forum is Our Millennials, which I am a millennial. The title is Anyone Else Celibate? I am a 29 female, and I completely gave up on dating. No dating sites, no flirting in real life, nothing. I am also abstaining because I have lost complete interest. Anyone else like this? It's just a dumpster fire out there as far as dating goes. Edit. I didn't expect this to get a lot of attention. A little backstory. I am very happy being alone and living my life how I want to with my little doggies. It's extremely refreshing dancing to the beat of my own drum after a very abusive relationship. I have learned self-love and have grown a lot as a person, not seeking out validation from a love sexual partner potential. So, this is me. Like, this is not me, because I'm actually 36, but this is how I feel. Earlier this year, I just lost interest at all in dating. I lost interest last year, and in the beginning of this year, 2024, I tried again for a little bit, but then I realized I just had absolutely no interest whatsoever in dating, and I just stopped. Just like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go ahead and work on myself. And also, I kind of think right now it wouldn't be the best idea for me to date with my mindset. So I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste somebody else's time. I'm not interested in just having a sexual partner just to be a sexual partner. I am like just not interested at all. And I knew I wasn't the only one because I have seen videos of other celibates that are my age or older. I've only been celibate for like a year and a half, but I've known people 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It just keeps going up, and it's just like they say the same thing, like dating is just ridiculous these days. And so they just rather be by themselves. And it's not to say, and this is the whole topic of like, oh, I don't need a man, or I don't need a partner in general. And people are just like, yeah, you do, you need a man. Like, just because somebody says that they don't need a man doesn't mean they don't want one. It just means that they would rather be by themselves than deal with the drama, the trauma, and all the other BS of trying to date and find your partner. Because even if you take the time to take your time and get to know them and wait it out before doing anything sexual with them or getting intimate, they could just be doing the long game. They could just be holding out for however long they need to hold out for them to get what they want. And it's just ridiculous. So this, I don't know, it's like, what else are you supposed to do? Because people blame, as a female, I've seen that males will blame females for picking the wrong partner. So then you're like, well, if you're waiting it out and everything, and then they show later that they were just faking everything just so they can get what they want, how is it do? It's kind of like victim blaming at that point. Yes, there are red flags sometimes that people do ignore or miss out on sometimes, but sometimes people are just literally hiding their true selves and their true intentions so they can get what they want. So I definitely understand losing interest and just not wanting to date. And I wonder the same thing, are people, I mean, it shows here, and even in the comments real quick. Let's see, what's the top comment? So the best comment is, I am definitely putting things on hold for the foreseeable future. I got broken up with a few months ago, and every interaction since then has just been a constant reminder of how awful dating and hookups are anymore. Yeah, I lost interest in like any friends benefit situations too. So that's the reason why I said I'd just rather be with myself right now. Yeah, so that was the best and the top comment. the next comment under that is, yes, it's been 4 years. I am told I'm good looking and charismatic, but I have zero interest anymore. Sometimes I long for companionship on a deeper level, but genuinely happy to be single. And there are people who don't believe these people are actually happier just being single. But in all honesty, especially if you had a traumatic relationship and you gone on several dates and it all ended up being like either it just didn't work out or you realize that person was just playing games, and then you just start working on yourself and being single and finding your hobbies and just enjoying life, you will genuinely realize that you're happier just being by yourself. Like, you might want a partner, but you're happier just being by yourself. And this is how people become so independent. I've always been independent in my life, but like feeling like I'm not going to find a partner for the foreseeable future. I just need to do everything on my own. It is what it is. Even if I need to pay somebody to come and do something, for the most part, I either do it myself or I have the money to pay for somebody to do it for me. I just rather work on finding actual friendships, meaningful friendships, and working on myself and working on my hobbies and everything than just worry about dating anymore. And I see that there are a lot of other millennials that are thinking the same thing. People are just saying, you know what, I really don't want to, I don't want to try anymore. I'd rather be by myself. And I've seen videos from the men now as well, because this one is for females. And I've seen a lot of females saying this, I'm tired of trying. But I've seen the men are starting to do the same thing, where they're like, I'm tired of trying, blah, blah, blah. I don't see anything wrong with this as far as you're just going to work on yourself. But the only issue I see with this for some people is, instead of them just working on themselves and then when a partner comes, they come, if they don't, they don't. They instead get to that point of like the incel type situation where they're very angry that they can't find a partner, or they'll look at other people's relationships. Like, for instance, I've even done this myself, where I watched plenty of shows, and sometimes I just like, well, they have a partner and I can't even find a guy to stop playing games. But those partners usually are not good partners from what the show is showing. They're either toxic or they're adding on to why the person is in a certain situation. They're not actually good relationships. So like, yeah, I'd rather go myself. They might have a partner, but is it a good partner? Is it a good life with that partner? I don't see that. So I stopped saying that. I just been like instead, if I see that situation, I'm like, yeah, this is the reason why I'm still single. I'll be open to it at some point, I'm sure, but right now, just not open to it. Just not interested in wasting my time anymore. And so I would just rather work on myself and work on friendships. So yeah, those are my thoughts on celibates and virgins. I think in general, my last thoughts, what people should do in general, is just not center relationships and sex into your life so much. Like, it doesn't need to be the center of your life. It could just be something that happens as you are living your life and enjoying your time and, you know, exploring and finding friendships and things like that. And then once you find your partner, you find your partner. Hopefully doing it that way will lead to you to finding a more healthy relationship when you do find that partner. I think everybody needs to do that, in my opinion. I think the reason why there's so many toxic relationships is because everybody's so centered on trying to find their partner that they will just take anything just to say that they are with somebody or in a relationship or married, even if it's the most toxic thing in the world. And I would rather be alone. That used to be and is still seen as a negative thing, or it's seen as an insult. Like, at least I have a man, at least I'm married, and you're just in the most toxic situation in the world. Like, okay, go ahead and be there. Then I don't know what to tell you. Mine, like, at least I'm single. At least I'm not dealing with that shit. So that's up to you. If you are in a good relationship, kudos to you. Hopefully I find something. But if you're not, then get out of it and find something better, or be by yourself for a little bit. But yeah, virgins and celibates, like, I believe they really are happy. If they're seeing it from a positive aspect of their life, and they're focusing on all the other positive things happening in their life, and they really could be happy single people. Even if they, like, I mean, you could be a virgin and celibate and be in a relationship. I mean, that can also be true. I'm gonna have to cut some of this out. So, yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye.